I was told for 16 years that I had fibromyalgia. And about 8 years ago, I was really, really sick with it, and I had to take my dog into the vets for her annual checkup, and my veterinarian was the one who said, you really need to get to somebody who understands Lyme disease. Well, I had been tested over that 16 years twice, and both times it was negative. So I said, but I don't have Lyme disease, and she said, no, you really need to get to somebody who understands it. So I did, and turns out I had tick-borne diseases all that time. I had Lyme disease, Bartonella, and Babesia, and so I didn't need to spend 16 years thinking I had fibromyalgia and suffering and in pain. So it was this organization that helped my family. It turns out everybody in my family had it. Oh my God. Yeah. We were all diagnosed with different things, and fibromyalgia for a couple of things, and chronic fatigue and other things. And so it turns out my whole family had it. So this organization helped my family get to the right place. Fibromyalgia is a diagnosis where this is your life, you need to live with it. And that's pretty much what one of the doctors told me when I was so sick 8 years ago. He was just like, you know, what are you doing here? Your rheumatologist told you that it was fibromyalgia, so this is your life, you need to learn to accept it. And thankfully, I didn't, and thankfully I listened to my veterinarian because they're a little bit further ahead than the medical doctors are. I was treated for 2.5 years with antibiotics, anti-malarial drugs, because that's what I needed. And I became completely symptom-free, and I didn't have any symptoms of fibromyalgia again. It took me a while to even get diagnosed with fibromyalgia, so I'd say that I had been sick for probably a total of about 18 years.
18 years?
Yes, most of my adulthood, yeah. I had been spending, you know, being sick. So at first you get very angry, but then you have to learn to get up and over that anger, because then that's not very good for your healing.
No.
Then it becomes all about the healing and then helping others. And that's why I've gotten involved with this organization, and I go out and speak to groups and to organizations and businesses. You know, now we're all about trying to help other people prevent years and years of illness, and instead get on a treatment plan that's going to work. So I field the calls that come in to our hotline, and I can tell you that there is a lot of suffering out there. The word is getting out, though, that tick-borne diseases are a controversial subject, and that your doctor may not actually have all the answers, and that what I've observed is that what Lyme disease teaches us is that we have to become active patients in our health care, not passive patients. We can no longer just sit there and let a doctor tell us what's going on and take his word and run with it. We have to do our own research. We have to listen to our gut feelings. When we think, no, there's more to it than that, or no, I really don't think that I'm on the right track, we have to do our own research and be our own advocate, take our health care into our own hands. We can't just lay our own health care in the laps of our doctors. We have to take control of it. Whole families can have tick-borne diseases because if you have active families, you're all living in the same environment, so chances are you're all getting tick bites. But then there is the fact that some of these tick-borne diseases are transferred from mother to baby through the placenta, and so that's where some of these children can be getting it where they might not have had a tick bite. We also have known since 1989, the American Red Cross has known that Lyme disease is in our blood supply. Other tick-borne diseases are now in our blood supply, that even the CDC is very concerned about Babesia being in our blood supply, ehrlichiosis, anaplasmosis. So there are ways that you can get Lyme disease or tick-borne diseases outside of a tick bite. If there's one thing that I could say to the medical community, it is to listen to your patients, to use your own judgment, and to stay up on all of the science. There is so much good science out there that the CDC and the IDSA do not want our doctors to know. So it takes our doctors stepping out of their comfort zone and saying, you know what, there's a whole nother medical society out there called the International Lyme and Associated Diseases Society, or what we call ILADS. They have conferences every year, incredible scientific conferences that can help doctors to better understand these tick-borne diseases outside of what they're being told by the CDC and the IDSA. I really want people to raise awareness, really learn about tick-borne diseases. Our organization is out there to provide resources. We will come and speak to any group. We have lots of resources to be able to share. You have to. We have so many people that are being misdiagnosed with MS, with ALS, with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. Children are being diagnosed with growing pains. They're being told that they have behavioral problems. They're being diagnosed with ADHD. They're being told that they just simply don't want to go to school. And parents need to stop and think. Why would my child want to act like this? No child wants to be sick. Why would a child want to spend their days on the couch rather than being out in the yard playing with their friends? You know, we need to stop and think that all of these different diseases that I just named, they're really only a set of named symptoms. That's all they are. MS, ALS, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, they're all just a set of symptoms with no known cause. Well, I challenge people to stop and think for yourselves that you're living here in an endemic area on the whole Delmarva Peninsula is very endemic for tick-borne diseases. Stop and think, could this be caused by a tick-borne disease? And if you have suspicions for it, then they can call our organization, get some information, and we can point them to the right resources. Right now, for whatever reason, psychiatric symptoms are coming to the forefront. There is so much depression, anxiety, bipolar tendencies out there that are sudden onset of this, that people need to stop and say, well, I didn't have depression most of my life, so why do I have it now? That's a big red flag. Hey, maybe I have an infection that's causing this. So we're just going to be plugging on along and just really trying to participate in as many events as we can to help keep the public informed.